You know, there are many different ideas about the word love. One of the most interesting that I think I've ever heard was a few years ago, a man saying, well, the opposite of love is not hate. I remember my reaction when I heard him say that, the opposite of love is not hate. You see, I've taken tests, and many of you have too, where if an individual says, give me the opposite, and they say high, you say low. If they say black, you say white. If they say love, you say hate, and you win. So I remember thinking to myself, well, then what is it? He went right on. He said, no, the opposite of love is neglect. That love is manifest best by what you care about, the things that you respond to. Do you respond the way that a person who cares about something responds? Well, I'm suggesting that people ought to respond as though they care about the person first. Let me give a little story of what happened once. There was a school that had a rule about chewing gum. It was a very simple rule. It had to do with you only chewed gum at certain times or in certain places. You didn't chew them during instruction and so on. But you can't stop people from chewing gum. How are you going to do it? Even little kids, where they have rules about gum, learn very early that if they come in from the top, you hide it up above. If they look down low, you hide it down here. Sooner or later, if you have to, you just swallow it, and it doesn't do any of the things that they say. It doesn't clog up your valves, nothing. One lady who said, how can I show them what I'm concerned about and that I care about, did this. She, the teacher, came early to school one morning, 10 minutes early, with a chisel, a piece of sandpaper, and a can of varnish. She went to the cafeteria, got a chair that had some gum under it, brought it to her room, chiseled off the gum, sanded it down, and painted it. It wasn't a day or so until the kids came in and said, what are you doing? And every time they asked, she said, I don't like gum. I can't stand to work in a place with this gum. And so I've decided to do something about it for herself because she cared about it. She wasn't mad at the kids. She wasn't upset. Well, within a week, there were 3 or 4 kids coming early, bringing their own sandpaper, their own chisel, their own varnish. The interesting thing to me is that 20 years from now, there will be some young mothers in the country who will be able to say to their friends, you won't believe what happened to me when I was in school. And they'll tell their friends exactly what you do when you care about something. You don't blame, you don't argue, you do something yourself because you care. That's what we should do in our families. Show how we care. Don't blame them for not caring.